This is a long-time customer that I've done tons of worked on this guitar, I don't know how many years ago. What I'm doing here is pots were a little scratchy, no big deal. You take care of that all the time. I just wanted to show all of the latest tech deck, guys. This is how I do this. I just loosen off the straps like so. When I cinch them down tight, you've seen me do that, but I don't do that here. I actually leave them loose enough so that I can flip the guitar around. And this brings it up to chest level. I also switched out the jack plate to metal because the plastic one was split. And this is tuned, and I'll bring you in a second, this is tuned and intonated for open E tuning. Yeah, so that's how I orient the guitar when I'm swapping out pickups, spraying electronics, changing a switch. I basically bring the thing right up to chest level, and like I said, I leave the straps loose enough that I can rotate the guitar, flip it face up, flip it face down, whatever orientation I need. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that plate back on because yeah, Aaron is a local customer that's been coming to me for since he was a kid. He's got a family of his own now. A brilliant engineer, done a lot of design work for BMW, software and hardware design. I've been working on this guitar since he was a kid. This one is kind of interesting. I'll bring you in for a look at the compensated nut because it's set up for open E tuning. Now the idea was, even though it's open E tuning, I wanted to set it up so that you could play it like a regular guitar. He's got 11 to 58 strings on this, and it's an excellent choice because the strings are the perfect thickness for using the slide, but they're also light enough that you can just play it like a regular guitar. So this is Aaron's other guitar, which is a Epiphone Casino with the P90s. And quite frankly, the frets were a mess on this guitar. Not from wear, it was just the whole neck was rocking and rolling. So I adjusted the truss rod as I always do, got the neck as straight as possible, and basically went end to end. There were multiple spots. Now we got the action down nice and slick, a little bit closer than that open string tuning Les Paul. And it's also 11 to 48. So this gauge, 11 to 48, has been Aaron's string of choice ever since I've known him. So I'll bring you in for a look at this compensated nut, but before I do that, I want to bring you in for a close-up of this bridge. I did end up flipping the D saddle to squeeze the intonation out for this gauge of strings. There just wasn't enough travel. I also wicked in quite a bit of liquid nylon or Loctite to firm up those saddles because they were very loose and schlocky. I mean, you hit it with your hand and you'd put the intonation out. I also wrapped that Teflon tape, you've seen me do this lots of times, over the bridge posts, and I put some heat shrink tubing over the two tips and press fit that bridge, so it's rock solid now. It does not budge. So this thing is super stable. And of course we put a compensated nut on it. That is the compensated nut for 11 to 48 at concert pitch. And that's for the 24 and 5/8 inch scale. Now we can bring them both into the studio and check them out. Okay, so here is Aaron's open E tuning, 11 to 48. And I've laid down a little bit of a vamp to sort of attempt to play. I'm not a slide player, but so the vamp I laid down is this. So I'm going to let that play, and all you slide players can change your channel now. Anyways, I'm going to make an attempt at probably the first time in 20 years I've put a slide on. We'll let this play. Okay, so to wrap it up on this one, that is our compensated nut, 11 to 48 strings. And you can actually play this without a slide, and it's perfectly in tune. The bridge was adjusted. I put a little bit of Loctite in there to tighten up the schlock and the machining there and the saddles. Aaron had dropped a couple of Duncan pickups into this quite a while ago. I did put a metal jack plate in. The plastic one was cracked, and the input jack was a little bit wonky too, right? So that's working now, everything's working. I did tighten up the bridge posts as well, wrap them in Teflon, and sprayed the pots and the electronics. It was kind of scratchy sounding, but it's up and running now. Light fret dress, that's all it needed, and it's good to go for the long run. 11 to 48, open E tuning. So this is the wrap up on Aaron's casino, Epiphone Casino. There's a compensated nut, and as I mentioned earlier, the frets were a mess. They're perfect now. Also 11 to 48. This one's of course a concert pitch, and I've recorded that vamp that I just blew over with the slide. So I'm going to let that play again and blow over with this guitar, and you can hear it.